What's up, agents? Zero here, and today I'm going to be explaining to you guys how each and every circuit inside of Circuit Friends actually works. Now, when TheGamingCyclone and I first put the map together, our intention was the first 5 levels to be tutorial levels explaining how each of the circuits works, and apparently, judging by the response that we got, well, that didn't actually work. Because we actually got a few videos from some of you guys via Twitter, which, before I go any further, I want to go ahead and give a thank you from the both of us for those of you who did in fact submit videos. But from the videos that we saw, apparently you guys had absolutely no idea what you were doing. So we failed in explaining how the circuits work. So in today's video, I figured would probably be a good idea to go ahead and explain to you guys how each of these circuits actually work. And I'm not going to just explain how they work. I am also going to be explaining the why they work. So the first circuit that we're going to be taking a look at is the AND gate. This is the first circuit of which you were introduced to. Here's the how of the AND gate. Whenever you have both inputs turned on, you get a redstone output. If at least one of these inputs is turned off, you get no input. That's the how it works. Now for the why. This input is connected to this redstone torch, and the same on this side. This input is connected to this redstone torch. These two redstone torches are then powering this piece of redstone dust, which causes this redstone torch to turn off, which in turn gives you your off output. If we go ahead and turn one of these inputs on, this input then turns this redstone torch off. However, because this redstone torch is still turned on, this redstone dust is still on, this redstone torch is still off. If we go ahead and turn this input on, now both redstone torches are off, therefore this redstone dust is off, therefore your redstone torch here, which is your output, turns on. And that's exactly how and why a NAND gate actually works. Next up we have the OR gate. The OR gate is actually very easy to understand. A lot easier to understand than the AND gate. Although, admittedly, there are some of you guys who didn't understand the OR gate fully, because some of you guys were just simply flipping on every single lever possible in order to be able to get the circuits to work, which admittedly, for some of the levels did work, but at the same time, you weren't understanding the concept of the OR gate. So, here's what an OR gate does. When at least one input is on, then the output is on. You do not need both of these on in order for it to power. Yes, it still works when both of them are on, but that is not entirely necessary. Here's the way it works. It doesn't matter which input is turned on. It will power this entire redstone line. This redstone dust in the center will then, in turn, power your repeater, which gives you your on output. And that's how it works. This is known as a NOT gate, also known as an inverter. And this is by far the easiest circuit in the entire map to understand, because this is basic redstone. Anyone should understand how this works. Everyone should know how this works. So, as you already know, a redstone torch is on by default. Therefore, it's giving us our on output. However, when a redstone torch receives power from anywhere else, albeit from the side of the block, or it can be redstone dust on top of the block, it then turns off. This is why it's called an inverter. So, knowing that, whenever this input is off, this is on. It's the same vice versa. If this is on, this is off. This is what I was talking about. Because it's getting signal from another side, the torch is now off. Now, these three circuits that I just explained are the easiest of the circuits to understand. the two circuits that are directly behind me gave a lot of people trouble. And I understand that because not a lot of people can understand how complicated redstone works. I'm not saying that everyone has problems with it, but the majority of you guys had problems with these two circuits in particular. And I will do my very best to explain them in full detail. Now, this first one is the XOR gate. Now, this was not mentioned in the map, but the X in XOR stands for exclusive. So this is an exclusive OR gate. Here's the way this works. This redstone lamp on the end, or output, will only turn on when one input is on and the other input is off. So right now, both of them are off, therefore output is off. If I turn one of these on, we get ourselves an output. If I turn the other one on, because both of them are on, now our output is turned off. Now, here's how this works. First off, you need to understand, as I mentioned before, the inverter, because this is an important part of it. Each input inverts two redstone torches at once. These on the top are not important right now. What is important is these two that are powered on the sides. These two redstone torches on their respective sides will power these two pieces of redstone dust, which then unpowers the redstone torches, thus giving you your off output. If I turn this one on, this redstone torch is now off, therefore this redstone torch is now on, thus giving you your on output. However, if we go ahead and turn our other input on, as you can see, these two torches are now off. But this is where these two torches come into play. Because these two redstone torches are now turned off, these two pieces of redstone dust are now turned off. Which means this redstone torch can now turn on. This redstone torch then powers both of these blocks, which turns off both of these redstone torches, which then gives us our off output. And that's exactly how an XOR gate works. And if that did not make any sense to you guys whatsoever, here's what I'm going to do. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and take a quick screenshot of the video right now, rebuild this in your own world, and experiment with it. After some time, I can guarantee that you will eventually understand how this circuit works. This is admittedly a complicated circuit to understand, and I did my very best to explain how it works, but I know some of you are still confused, so that's why I'm giving you the option of the screenshot. Last but not least is the one that gave people the most amount of trouble. This is the switch gate. Now, one way I can possibly describe this, and there's a very good possibility this is not the best method to explain it, is that it's a hybrid double AND gate. I know some of you probably don't know what that means, but here's how this works. As you can tell, both of our outputs are turned off. If I go ahead and turn this input on, as you can see, one of these lamps is turned on, preferably the lamp on the left. That's because, as I've tried to explain to some of you guys, this lever is in fact facing to the left. If I face this lever to the right, the redstone lamp on the right is turned on. But everything turns off when the input is turned off. Now, the why is a little bit complicated to explain, but I will do my very best, as I said, to explain it. So, the first line of redstone that we're going to take a look at is this center line right here. So we have our input going into this redstone dust, to this repeater, to this redstone dust right here. This redstone dust right here is our input and is inverting this redstone torch. This redstone torch right here determines whether or not the circuit is on or off. Now, the other sides is what gets people confused. Now, in the map, there's actually a piece of redstone dust here with a block above it, and then a lever on the top of it. That does not make any difference whatsoever as far as this is concerned, because the redstone dust will send power to the rest of the circuit, and the lever will send power to the rest of the circuit. It doesn't make a difference. I do want to go ahead and clarify that right now. So here's how this works. This lever is going to be sending either power or no power to these redstone repeaters right here. We've mentioned the inverters before. This redstone torch is inverted. It's powering this redstone dust right here, which is then inverting this redstone torch right here. On this side, this repeater is powering this block, which then powers this line of redstone dust, which then inverts this redstone torch. Now remember when I mentioned it's a hybrid double AND gate. Well, that is technically what it is, because this redstone torch being on turns on this redstone dust, turns off this redstone torch. Same on this side. Both of these redstone torches on, this redstone dust is on, this redstone torch is off. And if I go ahead and flick this lever, it is now facing to the right, which means this redstone torch is on, this redstone line is off. Flipping it turns on both of these repeaters. As you can see, it is now turning this redstone torch off because the redstone dust is on. This repeater being on turns this redstone torch off, which means this torch is on. Here's how this works. Whenever this is on, as you can see, this redstone line is powered, which means this torch is unpowered. The center line unpowers this redstone torch, which allows this redstone torch to turn on. But this side is technically off, which means this torch is on. If I go ahead and flick this lever right here, now this redstone line is off, which means this torch is on. Turns this torch back off. With this torch back on, this torch turns back off, and this torch turns on, giving us our output in this side. I hope that made sense. I tried to explain that in the best way I possibly could. But I know there are going to be some of you who still have no clue how that works still. So, as far as the map is concerned, take a look at both your input and the lever on the top. You get no output when this is off, you get an output when it is on. When you get an output, look at this lever right here. Whatever direction it's facing, that will determine what direction your output is. So let me show you once more. Your input is on. This lever is facing to the right. The right lamp is on. Go ahead and flip the lever to the left. The left lamp is on. And if that didn't make any sense, then I honestly don't know what will make sense. And that's basically exactly how every single circuit works and why it works the way it does. So hopefully you guys have a better understanding of how the map works, and hopefully the map makes a lot more sense to some of you guys. And as I mentioned, Circuit Friends will be down in the description if you guys do want to go ahead and check out for yourself now that you have a better understanding of how it works. And hopefully the map will be a little bit easier. But other than that, that's going to have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. Well, more than make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can find me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zeus to Use. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.